Okay, so there's a lot of good that we can go out there and acknowledge about the Ottawa Senators. We can talk about Alex DeBrincat and how this guy is actually legit. Like, we made the video a few weeks ago talking about, oh, what's wrong with DeBrincat, but like, the guy has been fantastic ever since then. We can talk about Giroux, the addition of him to the lineup and what that means for the organization. We could talk about the Josh Norris return potentially on the horizon and all that stuff. But when it comes to probably the best story in Sens Nation right now, when it comes to the ratio between unexpectedness and how good it really is, we didn't expect this, I think. And at the same time, it's happening, and it's so amazing watching it unfold in front of our eyes. We're heading over to the World Juniors again, and we're talking about Team USA forward number 13 on the squad, Tyler Boucher. Because, so far at this tournament, Boucher has been an absolute beast. And as we said, on the ratio between the goodness of this situation and the unexpectedness of the situation, I feel like this is one of the stories that is up there in Sens Nation. Heck, maybe even Hockey Nation in general. Because Tyler Boucher is a guy the Ottawa Senators drafted in the 10th overall spot in the 2021 NHL Entry Draft. He was taken way too early in the minds of most people who were paying attention to the draft and keeping up with the storylines. You had guys like Cole Sillinger, Coronado, Isaac Rosen, Brennan Othman, Kosa, Wallstead, all going after Boucher, even though Boucher was ranked to go somewhere in the second or third round by many scouting outlets outside of the Ottawa Senators system. This was made even worse by the fact that Boucher, after getting drafted out of the US NTDP, ended up going to Boston University. He had 3 points in 17 games played. As a forward, he is a right-wing, left-wing player of decent size and a right-handed shot. He then decommitted from BU, went over to the OHL, where he was under a point per game for the 67s. Really not a good mark for a guy in his Draft Plus 1 season, especially taken 10th overall. And this season, the guy's at 15 points in 17 games played. So, while that's still not as impressive when you acknowledge he's in his Draft Plus 2 year and he's a top 10 forward, etc., etc., the thing is, Tyler Boucher is at Team USA at the World Juniors right now, and the guy's got 3 goals in 3 games played. Now, that might not stand out to you as too much, especially when you look at Connor Bedard and what the Canadiens are doing, but when you watch some of this tape, you'll see things out of Tyler Boucher that we haven't seen all too much out of the past few years. When he was drafted, he was noted by the Ottawa Senators and their staff and a lot of people in the NHL broadcasting crew as more of a physical guy that could provide an element of size and grit that was difficult to play against, and not because he scored a lot of points, but because he was a guy that could just go out there and rough things up. And the Ottawa Senators had somewhat of a reputation of not shying away from those types of guys. Of course, you have Brady Tkachuk, who is a mainstay part of this team. And so, if you have Tyler Boucher, who is sort of in a similar physical mold to what Tkachuk offers, then you could see the connection as to why the Sens would want this type of a guy. It's just you passed up on the opportunity to draft so many other players that were considered top 15 talents and went with the guy that some scouting outlets had as low as the 90th overall spot. So, for Boucher, top 10, this was always seen as a meme. We had made the video talking about how his struggles definitely were not worthy of that top 10 label, but I mean, in this tournament so far, you are seeing not necessarily the rough and tough and gritty physical element of Boucher's game come to play, but you're seeing everything else. This guy is not afraid to hold on to the puck a little extra second to make a smart pass. Tyler Boucher is setting guys up pretty nicely, and I know he's got 0 assists on the tournament, but there have been a few goals scored by Team USA where Boucher was pretty much the catalyst as to why the play even got started, even though he didn't get the assist at the end of the day. The goals that he's scoring look very nice. He's holding onto the puck a little bit longer, forcing his shots to go through, and all in all, this is a player that looks really gosh darn good. Here are some tweets. Firstly, from Mitch Brown. He does work for EP Ringside. Seems like Tyler Boucher is on the cusp of a breakout. In his recent 67s play and here at the World Juniors, he's more aggressive off the boards, taking pucks to the middle instantly instead of cycling. That's huge. I know it's easy to criticize him for something he has no control over, aka getting drafted 10th overall by the Senators, but he has legit shooting skill, off-puck offensive play, and transition upside. If the recent aggressiveness with the puck is a sign, he'll start scoring a lot more soon. Perhaps there's still a top 9 upside here. You then had yourselves J.D. Burke, also saying some stuff. He does work for EP Ringside as well. Tyler Boucher has been very, very good at this tournament, and he's having another strong game today. Probably the Americans' best non-Jimmy Snuggerud forward to this point. And throughout these games, we're starting to see his name pop up a lot more. He's getting Player of the Game honors sometimes. He's going all Gustav Nyquist on us, taking laps in the offensive zone while holding onto the puck before throwing it out in front to a guy who ends up missing the opportunity he is gifted. Tyler Boucher is looking a lot better, and the numbers by themselves don't really tell the whole story. And so, ultimately, when it comes to what this player is and what he could potentially provide a National Hockey League team, aka the Ottawa Senators, in the long-term future, I feel like there's a really good mix of physicality and skill that we may be really close to seeing blossom soon. Like, we knew that he had the physical side. That's why he was taken so high up in the draft, and it's why a lot of people criticized the pick in the first place. But now, the skill is starting to show. Just giving this guy a little bit more extra room and allowing him to hold onto the puck a little bit longer is allowing him the opportunity to show off the dangles that he can do. The very nice hold onto the puck and send it off at the last second moments where he throws it over to guys that are open on the side. He's making very smart plays, and I'll admit I did not see this coming out of Tyler Boucher. So, if you're an Ottawa Senators fan, talk to the comments on your thoughts about Boucher and the way that he has developed so far. We know that things have been slow from BU to Ottawa 67s hockey and eventually to the World Juniors today, but I mean, things at the very least are going in the right direction, and I want to hear your opinions as to whether or not this is a guy you see breaking into your lineup the next few years and where you see him actually slotting in your lineup too. He's probably not going to be a top-line forward, I would think. I mean, with everybody healthy, you got Norris, Tkachuk, Batherson, Giroux, DeBrincat. I mean, can he be the final top 6 forward in that team? I mean, you got some other prospects that definitely are making a name for themselves, like Zach Ostapchuk on the Canadiens team. But either way, if he's a middle 6, let's say penalty kill 1, power play 2, grinder type of guy that can win some board battles, be physical, win some fights, and also get maybe upwards of 40 to 50 points a year, at the end of the day, that's pretty alright, especially for a guy who has had such a tumultuous path as Boucher has. But talk to the comments either way all your thoughts about the development so far at the World Juniors and what we have seen out of this player. I hope you enjoyed this Juraj 9, and bye.